goes. Knight g4 hitting that pawn, and the pawn cannot move because of the pin along the long diagonal. This should not be that advantageous for white. From my understanding of this position, got a little space though with the pawn on c4.
Exactly. It's usually one of those pawn on c4 versus pawn on d6 position where thanks to the move knight c3. Wow. I was going to say thanks to the move knight c3 control the d5 square. Very unusual to see this trade because now the pawn on d6 is transferred to the d5 square where it has more control of board. Unfortunately for myself, I'm not getting an update on my board. Oh, I went too far. I think I should have it. Just a second.
Alright, well
Here it is.
castle.
I got it.
And black usually puts a pawn on c6, right?
Yeah, at this position.
And there we go.
I usually am used to seeing the knight coming to c3 and maintaining the c4 versus dynamic. This trade, on the other hand, has transferred this d6 pawn to the e5 square, where it actually does a yeoman's job of controlling the board. Key squares in the center of board, c7, c6, shutting down this bishop on the long diagonal, as well as controlling the
And
square.
queen c1. So there are a couple of niceties here to pay attention to. That queen c1 move is trying to take advantage of the new diagonal, the one along a3 to f8. That was one point. The second point, this knight on c3. Whenever I get these positions with the white pieces, yes, I'm always wondering, where does my knight go? How do I park this knight on a great square, the knight on c3? And I have to tell you, I normally don't find anywhere really good.
The great square is d6.
The great square, if you can get there, but usually they just stop it from happening. So right now, trying to get to d6, the biggest problem for white is this knight on c3, improving the position. And you see Nepo trying to figure this out. He wanted to put his bishop on a3, which is queen on c1. He's got a rook on d1. Black will put a rook on d8. And the black will say, what do you have?
Nothing.
You look like you got zip. What are you playing for?
And the other very important point is you want to move the move bishop a3, not, this is crucial, not with the move knight c5, because of knight e4. You want to move the move bishop e3, knight e4 with knight e8, and reinforce the knight with the move d7, e5. The thing you absolutely have to avoid is a variation like this. Your pawns end up getting doubled. Of course, I can take that pawn. I understand, but also queen e3 advantage all day to white. Bishop a3 is being at knight e4. On the other hand, if you transit through e4, I want to take my f5 and then e4, trade the darks for bishops, neutralize the completely, and that's Nepo's problem.
I don't like
a
this.
long time.
Yeah, I don't like this.
It is taking an enormous amount of time. This is 5 minutes. 90 seconds.
But you know what? I'm telling you,
Knight a4.
See, the knight is a problem in his brain. He's like, what am I doing with my knight? I need something creative and different. And he's put the knight on a4. I'm not a fan of this either. Queen e3 is probably his choice right now. I would think. What did he play? It doesn't seem like he played that move. He played queen c3. Okay, e4 is not playable. But that queen doesn't look like it's on a permanent square on c3 for the moment. He started to play original chess based on the situation, as black seems just fine. Now bishop to g4, threatening the pawn on e2. And he's playing bishop f3, some original chess being played, guys. By Nepo.
I wouldn't have played the move bishop g4. The bishop on g2 neutralized by this pawn structure. The weakness I have is the c5 square. I would have played f6, bishop f8, then any incursions like queen e5 and queen e4. But I need to buttress up this e1. By the way, I like this pawn takes.
And a good decision.
A very, very good decision, because now it means that the rook could slip over and potentially play for f4. This imbalance, this trade of light square bishops, for white. Don't help your opponent.
He is being outplayed, Sonny. And queen, I like the queen on e3 myself, because and there he's played it. That was the move I wanted to play in the first place. Queen on e3. Now you're eyeing that a7 pawn as well, You're hitting the pawn on e5. I'm liking your idea, Yaz, of f4. And here, also, the knight wanted to go to e6. He didn't do it because the bishop actually maybe it's a tactic.
No, because
No, not yet. e6
the
play.
f4 is coming. F4 is
F4.
move for tempo.
What will he do about f4?
Yes, you're gonna have to play. So maybe I trade one pair of books, one pair of books, and then play rook to e1. Rook e1 immediately.
Yeah, f4 comes with more force with the rook on e1.
Good point.
And why trade off when your a8 rook is not doing anything? Nobody needs a d-file. At least it doesn't seem that way. And now he's shifted as well. Now f4 would have to be met. And now he do this. Yes, he can. Why did he play rook d1 right at this moment when rook d8 was possible? Because rook takes can be met by queen takes.
Exactly.
I'm not sure about rook d1.
I was really expecting this move on the prior move, going after
That
the
was-
c6 pawn.
Right.
But also, you want to play f4, but not necessarily allow your opponent to play e5 before. So by posting up with the tempo, making it that much more difficult for black to hold.
Still, it's white for choice here, though.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
there's no
Oh,
question.
yes.
Bishop g4 and takes on f3 was just a bad decision.
Yeah, I don't
Absolutely
like that
bad exchange
at all.
that did not benefit black at all. And now Nepo c5. What? Allowing all those yummy light squares?
Wow.
He must plan to put a rook on d4, right? Like,
Yeah, but
did he successfully engineer it?
I don't like that decision.
If he can't put a rook on d4, he's gonna be in a world of hurt. He's traded.
Oh, it might be
Traded. But now he's got his knight to e6, allowing knight d5.
all day.
But
95, this is all white.
it is. But what's
Because
white?
you're gonna play f4.
f4 right now.
Yeah, well, but f4 looking maybe I start. I don't want you to play knight before you capture. I want you to play knight and then
White
I would.
choice. White can always kill the knight that appears on d4,
Fuck.
while there's nobody that can do anything about the d5 knight. And your move, rook e1 played Yaz, and this was so just scrumptious. Knight d4 takes with the c pawn and play for f5. Is that a hope?
Well, the idea is knight before bishop d4 c4. I'm going to move my knight. I want to make that perfect blockade, right? The knight goes to e4 to d3. Then your f5 move is going to weaken a lot of light squares. Right, check. Let's see what
Here it is.
Well,
This is the move we're talking about.
it's a
And he
challenge.
decided not to capture.
immediately.
He played king g2, rook to e6. Now you cannot take this knight.
Well, I can. And then in case of he takes, I'd be forced to go all the way back to d1. Okay.
Someday bishop takes d4.
d4 is going to show.
But
Yes.
not when the knight on e6 is going to be challenged. So bishop takes d4, pawn takes, e pawn takes. And if you trade rooks, then f pawn takes, and the knight on d. Wait a minute, but I can play knight
on
f4.
d5
again.
will go back to f4. And then g6.
Let's show that line, yes.
Yeah, so at the moment.
He played h4. Back that up. Okay, let's say you play a random move like e6.
A6. Okay, so we're just looking at a variation where we get to take on a6, and at the end of the day, we play knight.
Hit it with knight f4. And because of that line we just showed, MVL said I'm backing out of there with knight to c6. Maybe not necessarily exactly the only reason, but the knight left because bishop takes d4 is always a threat. And because of that, MVL is prompted to back his knight out and say, what do you have? Show me your plan. I feel like there was a timing issue. Allowing the rook to e6
Yeah.
has created enough of a stability for, BL isn't going to be enough comp. The bishop on the long diagonal doesn't seem like it's doing terrific damage. You want to play bishop f6 and maybe queen f4, but bishop f6 can be met by queen d6.
There is a little bishop c3, so I can be true with the tempo.
But knight d4 will always happen.
If I'm going f4, he's playing
Bishop
it.
c3, this is the move, knight d4.
Queen f4, knight d4, queen f4. This is our expectation.
Oh wait, queen f4 can be met by rook
G1 check.
but you have king h2.
Oh no.
King h2 holding on. There's queen f6. Oh, whoa, wait a minute.
Give me the rook. Give me the rook. Don't take my queen.
Don't touch.
The rook.
And he can take the knight now. Beautiful sequence and take the pawn. And he's got one pawn. Some comp, but he's not winning.
Yeah, no. I mean, he's got no
Nepo in
compensation. He missed that move, e5, e4, and the tactical alertness of that, that makes him one of the most feared blitz players in the world. Just chilling at the moment, saying, okay, I'm trying to get that position. Compensation, strong knight on d5, let's see, versus rook, materially speaking, of course, black is her choice. It's very hard to prove advantage in these types of positions.
Yeah, but it's black for sure.
Black for choice.
Black for sure. And
question.
Nepo is defending, and also defending
By the
on
way,
the clock as
quickly,
well.
he plays quickly. When his back is to the wall, he doesn't like giving his opponent time to his advantage further.
And Wesley has already drawn with Peter, so Wesley maintaining his position.
Look at this. Suddenly the queen shows up. Who invited White's queen into the party?
And the pawn on b6, if your rook leaves, and he's prepared to play
Queen a7 check could come.
but the knight is pinned on d5. So is he going to take it? He's like,
No.
nope, not now.
But suddenly
And he's trying to create some little bit of chances over there.
The queen is looking, sniffing around.
Gotta say that's good.
And anything on Crete? By the way, I'm being told that Ali Perugia, who starts today's blitz with 2.5 points out of 3 games, is big advantage.
Big advantage against Aronian. That
Whoa.
fire. And
The rook is hanging.
that's a draw. That's just a draw if he takes it and he says, let me take it and let's just get out of here with a draw, no problem, as they repeat. And what a game. Oh, he said, well, let's do the repetition.